Okay, the request parameters. So firstly, we have to get the what is knowing. We want to know about these variables in Postman. Postman allow you to save the value variables to reuse them to easily hide sensitive information like API keys. Okay, so these variables you reuse them to easily hide sensitive information. So we will use to variable to replace our base URL. So we don't have to type that repeatedly. Yeah. You don't need to have to get the types of the repeat. So once the variable is defined, it can be used, reuse. You can access with the value to double curly braces like that. Okay.
Variables in Postman. Now remember, earlier we used the URL and fetched the box. But it is hectic to type that URL again and again, and it's repetitive. So we should not be doing that. Instead, we can use variables in Postman. Variables allows you to save a value and retrieve it later on. You can do it programmatically or you can do it manually. For
Yeah.
now, we will go
It
ahead
can be programmatically or manually.
and manually set a variable.
Yeah.
And then in the future, we will do the same thing via a program and a script. Let's go ahead and execute that in Postman. Now, if you go to Postman, here you can see this is the URL. Now, from M till the edge, we will select the URL and hover over it. You will see this set as variable option. Click on that and it will prompt a new window. Here you can see set as new variable option. Click on that and it will ask you the name of the variable. Remember, the name is case sensitive for our case. So make
Yeah,
sure
we can add the name.
you
Suppose
type
is
exactly as provided in Academy. That is base
link.
U capital RL. Now comes scope. Scope basically means where this variable will be available. For our use case, we are going to
Variables
select
available
collection
global
level
or
variable.
world
You can also see
collections. Only users use this in core collections. They already have we created.
vault, which is where it will be kind of residing on your machine, and then global, which
Yeah, that's the thing. So they set the base URL variable. Okay, we can set the base URL variable. Copy this one. Then we go to the postman. Postman. This is a postman. So and we can get this. Go to the your collections. Okay. So this one is a postman library. Uh, Postman library link. So set the variable. Then we add this base URL. Scope is we have used collection and set the variables. Then it can get this variable. Okay. Do not use the slash or other things. Okay.com. So then base URL books. So send it. Okay, 200 is okay. We can get this books. Okay, so these the things. So you can use this to the global or collection or other things. So where's my variables? So how can I get these variables? Postman library to so I haven't this one. So Postman library version 2. Then we did it. So get the book libraries. So how can I get in these variables? What variables are we make? So that we use the variables and you go to the collections, then you put these variables. Then it have added this base URL in here. Okay. So initialize this value, then current value. Okay. Don't put any secret here. Okay. And the key only column include not including them the initial value columns. go to next. Then query parameters. Remember that minimum ingredients you need to make this request. So request method is get, post, or put, or patch deletes, and the request URL we can use. Some API allow you to refine your request further with the key pair values called query parameters. Okay. So it uses the query parameters in the paired uses. So query parameter syntax is a query parameters at the end of the path. Okay, we at the end of the path, and they start the question mark. They start with the question mark and followed by the key pairs format. Okay, keys then equal values. Yeah. So this request might be fetch all the photos in the have the landscape orientations. Okay. The orientation is a key. Then equal landscape is a all the things, all the orientations, all the photos orientation is a landscape. Okay. So we can get this one. Some API.com photo orientation landscape. So we go to the get photos. Uh, get photos. Then we can add this. Okay, then send this one. Oh, it have not in here, but yeah, it have not API. If there are multiple query parameters, we want to create the multiple things. We can use this one and operator using the and operators. Using the and operators, we can use this one. Landscape orientation is landscape and size is this pixels. So yeah, two parameters are here. Then try pasting the URL into the browser. The get request to the make the Google search postman. Okay, we can use this one. Search Google. New one. And the search Google. Then the request to the send on. Google search display the none if you are ready within the few seconds. Q refer the query. Query, yes. Query equal postman. When to use the query parameter, the answer is always read the API documentation. Sometimes query parameters are optional and allow you to add the live filters and extra data in your responses. Yeah, these are the optional things, query parameters. Okay, then go to the next. Search book by genre. So we can use the genres one. Let's try to filter our books result only show the fictions tables. Okay, books this genre use the genre search or checkout status. Get all fictional book. How can I this one? How will be these ones?
Search books by genre. Now let's go ahead and fetch specific books.
Yeah.
Remember earlier we went ahead and fetched all the books. But now what we want to do is we want to filter these books by, let's say, title, author, or a particular status. Now how would we know if the API supports query params or not? The best way to know is to read the documentation. Now, if you come here, you can see the library API documentation right here. You can click on the link and you can scroll down a little and you can actually see all the request and all the query params, path parameters which are supported by the API. So you can actually look at all the documentation right here. Now to make it easy, we have attached the screenshot in Academy itself so that you can refer that easily. Here you can see we have params like genre,
Yeah.
checked out, and search. So let's go ahead and use one of these parameters and fetch a particular book via the API. Let's execute that in Postman. So let's go to Postman, and here what we are going to do is we are going to create a duplicate of get books. So hit on get books request, click on these three dots and click on duplicate. So this will create a copy of this book. But we want to rename it. Obviously we don't want to keep get books copy. So name it get fiction books.
Okay.
Nice. Now let's go ahead and add a query parameter here. Now the query parameter we need to add is genre. Let's go ahead in the
Yeah.
Academy and copy that. Remember, we are fetching fiction books, so the value is going to be fiction. Save this request and then hit a send. Now if you send this, you will notice that all the books which are returned.
Yeah. So we go to we have to go to the genres, search by books. So what is this one?
So the value is
Get the
going to be.
get fiction book. So get fiction book, fiction. We then post this library. Uh, this one? I don't remember these variables. Library APIs. Part change of the views. So why is it not work? Where is my collections? Is it okay? For the postman, this one. The postman is search Google, then get the fiction book, get the fiction book, get fiction books. Okay. Then we can add this the key values as a generic. So get the book copy or other things. So we used to key as a generic and add this one as a fictions. So we can filter this one using this base URL. Why is it there? It is not working. Why is that? Uh, the path is okay. It's not having the postman. Where is this value? It's not in here. Okay. Oh no, it's not to get, not to get. We send this one. Okay, we can 200. Okay, yeah, this one. All the generally have the fictions. Okay, yeah. Then you can go to the next, and you can use the multiple queries. Yeah. Parameters tab, you can use the value as the parameters value false. Then you can check out, or you can use this checkout. Then false. It have filter by the false things. Yeah, false. Check out false. It is a multiple queries. Okay. Then the path variables. Another way to passing the request the data is the path variable. Yeah. Digit WC is providing the username in the path in the place of the username, making this API call with the value usernames, with which data about the users. Get the HTTP things. You can multiple things using the owner to response. Yeah. Repos. Get the first information new map. Go to repository is a postman lab. Okay, this .com in repos postman labs new map. And what is the path of query parameters? Locate directly after the slash in the path. It can be anywhere on the path. So these is we have to use this located directly after the slash in the path, and it is a dynamically value. These are the dynamic value things. ID numbers are used to this one, and the other things is what is the query parameters. Queries are located only the end of the path. That is queries is end of the path. The path variables, then the query parameters. Okay. Yeah, located so only the end of the path and the question mark in here. These are just conventional. Some API might ask you to pass the ID or username in the query parameters. So when we use the pass variable, always read the API documentations. Okay. So color syntax and other things are here. Yeah. Points. It have the post task to get the books by ID. We can use the ID values. Okay.
Get book by ID. In the previous lesson, you learned about path parameters and the difference between query params and path params.
Yeah.
So let's go ahead and execute a request where we are going to fetch a particular book, which is a single book using its unique ID. Now for that, we are going to use path param. Remember, the way path param works is they are directly embedded into the URL. But Postman UI allows you to have a key value interface. On the backend, it will actually directly attach it in the URL, but in the UI, you will actually see the key value pair. So let's go ahead and execute that and fetch a particular book. Now, what can be the use case for this? Let's say a student is coming back to you again and again and asking for a particular book. So in that,
It have the ID values. You have get the ID using the ID parameters. This is a Piconius, one of the books ID. So we can say copies as a value. Then we have at the postman. Okay, new fiction books. Then we can add this get value. Then we use the ID. Then it have the fiction value. Send this one 200. Okay, targeting this ID. Yeah. Wait, console. You can use the past variable helper. No, no, no. Postman console. It's postman console. Debug request in the postman console.
In that case, you can save, go to this three dots. So name it on add a request. Go to use the get box and add a variable. It will directly embed that into the URL. So let's go back and get that unique ID from Academy. So you can see here, this is the unique ID with many spaces.
Is it okay? Path variables of path variables, not the core parameters.
That into the URL. So let's go back and add variables. Now you can see a new UI visible here and add ID.
Okay, we use this ID from this books then ID. No, books ID. Okay, path variables are here. When it have the value of these thing, you send it to that one. There's no test in the request. 200 okay. 200 OKs are here. Okay, we can use this copy, then add this one as ID, then send it. There's no things. What is the is okay is a ID, then backslash ID. Then you can get the ID using the path variables. Yeah, great job. Go to the quiz one. Go to those path parameters. Think you know the difference between the Korean path parameters. Prove it. Okay. What type of parameters ID below? It is a path parameter. ID is used to path parameters. How many query parameters are presented in the request the fictions and the search bar. So two request URLs are here. There are how many path variables have documented 10 point? Zero. How many path parameters? Yeah, path parameters are using ID. So show answers is that it's okay.